Ah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Hey, welcome to another Thursday, Friday Eve, everybody. Welcome to the In the Basement podcast. I am your co-host, KC, the Clippers fan, aka K, from In the Basement, Next Step in K. Shout out to my man Lar. He's down home taking care of the fam and whatnot. Also, he's out there working hard out there at the Clearport and whatnot. So, shout out to my guy Lar. What's up, my guy? What's up? What's up, everybody? I'm gonna just dive right into it, man. How's everybody doing? Everybody, how's shout out to all my Muslim brothers and sisters out there. Ramadan Mabarak. Hope you guys are having a great and blessed and safe Ramadan out there. Shout out to everybody that I know. Shout out to my man Javelle. Shout out to my man Pee Wee. Shout out to my man Reg. Shout out to my man Kyle, aka the Baby Brew from the Black Psychologist Podcast. Hope you're enjoying everything. Shout out to my man SB Talk Sports. Let's dive right into it, man. Did anyone get a chance to watch that Sixers game last night? Just come at me. Somebody just come at me. Tell me what happened. Um, you know, it's wait a minute. Hold on a second. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's Kawhi. That's Kawhi. That's he's blocking shots again. Um, I got a lot of texts. They're saying it's BS. A lot of people are saying that it was a bad call, a no call. What's it going to be? Because I think that was great defense. First of all, Kelly Oubre tried to run Paul George over. The only thing that Paul George did was stand his ground, put his hands up, no foul. And then Kawhi came from the weak side, as most great defenders do, to either alter the shot or block the shot. This time, Kawhi did the latter. It is what it is, man, guys. Come on, come on. Shout out to Kawhi Leonard. Shout out to Paul George. It was a great game nonetheless. What I didn't appreciate was Kelly Oubre just going to the refs and just talking to him, talking some you're a B, you're a B. He sounded like something out of Good Burgers. He's a dude, we're a dude, you're a dude, we're all dudes. Welcome to Good Burger, home to Good Burger. How may I take your order? You know what I mean? But listen, man, I think it was bad sportsmanship on the side of Nick Nurse and Kelly Oubre. I was looking at some of the posts and comments on Instagram and on Facebook. Um, Shout out to that. If you need to go on Facebook, we're actually on there in the Basement Podcast, and also we're on Instagram on in_dub_basement podcast. Definitely give us a holler. But I was sitting there just watching it. I was just people were like, "Yo, man, Nick Nurse is real. He's a real coach. He's backing up his players. Oh, he's backing up. He's co-signing nonsense. He's co-signing bad sportsmanship because the Clippers wouldn't act like that." I'm just saying. Good game by both. Good game by both teams. It was definitely a great game. I wish I was down there. I think I saw my man. I think I saw my man L and Lee down there. I wish I was down there at the game. They probably would have beat me up because I'd have been cheering so loud for the Clippers and stuff like that. Even though Kawhi had a subpar game, but he still represented. I think he had about like 17. As a matter of fact, let me bring up the. Let me bring up that real quick. One moment. Let's see. By the way, the score was 108 107. Clippers win by one. Now, as for the stats, looking that up, for the 76ers, the leading scorer was Tyrese Maxey. He had 26, 7, and 8. 3 for 8 from the 3-point line as leading scorer. Tobias Harris had a steady, if not consistent, 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Your boy Kelly Oubre, aka FU, F your mom. You're a B. Your dad's a B. Your mom's a B. Your granddaddy's a B. Everybody's a B, according to Kelly Oubre. I see. I see he was a B when he got hit by that car. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to throw shots like that. Also, Kyle Lowry chipped in with 7 points. Mo Bamba had 12 points and 11 rebounds. So here's the funny part about that thing here. How is it that Mo Bamba doesn't play a lick of offense or defense, but all of a sudden all of a sudden Mo Bamba is catching hoops from out the sky and stuff like that? Man, come on, man, get out of my face with that. Seriously, go ahead with that. I'm sorry. Now, as for the Clippers, Leading scores for the Clippers: Paul George with 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. Kawhi Leonard had 17 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 game-saving blocks. James Harden had 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 14 assists. James Harden was actually he was actually throwing some shade at the Sixers too, by the way, too in the post game. He was talking about like the sacrifices I make, but I'm not going to go there with that. You know what? We see your sacrifices, James. We know what it's hitting for. Also, let me see. Off the bench, Norman Powell had 11 points. Westbrook had 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. Even though he those stats aren't really actually eye popping, but he did chip in, especially with defense, with deflections, altering shots, altering passes, getting in the passing lane, disrupting ball handlers, things of that sort. Stuff that the Clippers do. We definitely had to get that win back from Sunday. Like the Sixers trounced on Sunday, so this is just our get back. I don't know why people are so up in arms and so mad about us winning. We came in your house just like y'all came to our house, stepped on our couch, we kicked your dog, we threw your dog in the basement, and we got the win. But for some reason, it's something about it's something about the Wells Fargo and the floors and those rims that are just like real fishy to me. You guys got to get that fixed. I don't know if there's like a black cat running around there in the arena or something like that, but you guys got to get that thing fixed ASAP. I mean, come on now. Come playoff time. Oops. If you guys are making the playoffs, you might have to get that thing fixed. Okay. That's all I'm going to say about the Sixers for right now. Shout out to the Clippers. We're back in fourth place again. So that's good. That's good to see, to have that home court advantage, stuff like that. But what I really wanted to get into the tournament. It was such a great weekend last weekend with all the different upsets and everything. I was posting on Facebook, posting on Instagram for some of the different teams that actually lost. Shout out to UConn, they advanced. Shout out to Illinois, they advanced. North Carolina, of course, they advanced. Clemson advanced too. That's a new one for me because I haven't seen Clemson like in the Sweet 16 since like 1997 or something like that. For real. I mean, yeah, the only time I see Clemson advancing anywhere is like usually in football or something like that. So shout out to Clemson. Of course, Houston, Duke, North Carolina State, Marquette. North Carolina State and Oakland was a great game last week. I believe they went to 2 overtimes. Shout out to Jack Golke. Jack Golke of Oakland said we're not a Cinderella team. Yes, you guys are a Cinderella team. You guys had no business getting to the second round, but the clock struck 12. You guys went home. The slipper does not fit. Shout out to Purdue. Purdue also is advancing to the Sweet 16, and so is Creighton. Creighton actually is going to be playing Tennessee in the Sweet 16 on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So that's definitely going to be a good game. As a matter of fact, let's get down to these. Matchups. Also, before I be remiss to also give some applause to the girls out there. Speaking of which, South Carolina, Dawn Staley, Coach of the Year, once again. And jumping back to the pros too, I don't mean to flip flop on different leagues and things of that sort, but I also watched some of that Golden State game too. Now for Golden State, and you guys can be real with me. Do you think Golden State, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, everybody, do you think everybody is like tired of like Draymond's antics now? Because I saw like the Golden State Warriors body language, when Draymond got ejected, and it was just like, dang man, like come on, like dude, like you're doing it again. Like he's like Draymond reminds me of that one dude. Like when we go run ball, we do run ball and pick up. He's that one dude who just picks a fight with everybody. He's like he's getting trashed out there, and the dude hits a three in his face, and then he says, "Look, man, I know what I'm really good at. I'm not even good at basketball, but I know one sport that I'm really good at. We fall for that, and we fall for the question like, oh, what sport is that, yo? He's like, well, I'm good with these hands. I'm good with boxing. Come on, bro. Like, really, dude, seriously. After you're getting torched, now you want to fight? Get out my face with that, man. Go ahead. But anyway, it was also heard that by through a team source that Draymond and Steve Kerr got into it, in the locker room. They said like Draymond put his hands on Steve Kerr or something like that, which I highly doubt that. But to be honest with you, I don't know how that information leaked in the first place because really, to be honest with you, anytime like a team is having like, private meetings and stuff like that, that information is not supposed to be coming out. Okay, most schools, to be honest with you, this goes on most teams, really, to be honest with you. It went on with the Clippers a couple times. There's a couple times on the Clippers where Doc Rivers, this is when Rondo was playing for the Clippers. Like just a couple times when Doc Rivers and Rondo were about to go at it. There's been times where, whether it be football, whether it be baseball, soccer, basketball, college basketball, I've seen times when Tom Izzo would openly get on his players, on national television, and the players will fire right back. I mean, now they're not going to like put his hands on them or anything like that, but they go back and forth. Some things, I think that some things need to be just kept in house in regards to, what the players and coaches and their dialogue and what they're going through and stuff like that, because this is something, if the team were losing, this could be something that could really like break the team up. But luckily, the Golden State Warriors have that team fortitude to pretty much get past this. And to be honest with you, I think it was just an argument. To be honest with you, it just got out of hand. They were cussing at each other. Steve Kerr is not going to back down. He's like, listen, I ain't back down from Mike. So who are you? You know. So yeah, so shout out to the Golden State Warriors. Hopefully they can get that situation remedied in house, of course, where reporters and social media can't get in and try to like twist the narrative on the Golden State Warriors, because I like the Golden State Warriors as a team. I like what they stand for, except when they play the Clippers. But I like as a team as what they stand for, in regards to as a team how they play, the way they developed their team. They didn't develop the team through like all these crazy trades and stuff like that. They developed the team through the draft, which you're supposed to do. So hopefully they get the situation remedied. I really hope they fix that situation. So I didn't even put that anything. Just going through the women's basketball championship. Hopefully you guys been watching it. Hopefully you guys been watching Iowa, UConn. Shout out to Dawn Staley. Speaking of UConn, Dawn Staley did said that Paige Beckers is one of the best players in the nation in regards to to her gameplay in the UConn team. So yeah, that's good. That's big praise coming from Dawn, the great Dawn Staley, Philly's own, Virginia's finest. South Carolina, Temple. Name it, she's been there. But I got a chance to watch, Iowa play West Virginia. That was actually a pretty good game. West Virginia, they really hung in there. They really hung in there until the end, until I believe it was Morrison who hit a couple threes, and they were really getting on Caitlin, as a team. But Caitlin came through. She still got her 32 points off of like free throws and you know um, shots here and there, but she was pretty much distributing to others. But somehow, some way, she still got that 32 just by just going to the line. Also, another good game um, that I was watching as well. Um, Stanford. I believe. Let me see. It was in the West region, so it was actually Stanford and Iowa State. I believe that went to overtime too. Um, Cameron Brink, she actually fouled out. Unfortunately, she had like 10 points. But Kiki, I think her last name is Inferen. Yeah, Kiki Inferen, um, came through, and let me tell you, like you want to talk about fundamentally sound basketball, whether it's guys or girls. You talk about triple threat, step throughs, spin offs, spin arounds, up and unders, converting. Listen, look no further than Kiki, because when Cameron fouled out in the fourth quarter, Kiki just took over. And I knew it was something when she caught the ball. I mean, this is what I love. She caught the ball in triple threat, spread her body out, and just shot a jump shot. Not a three, but she caught the ball in the post, reverse pivot, squared up, shot the ball just like that. Simple and easy and plain. One, two, three. Um, Wash, rinse, repeat. Just like that. I mean, it was a great game. I think she had like 44. I think she had like 44 points or something like that. I'm not sure if that's like a Stanford record, in the tournament, but definitely, definitely a great game. So I'm definitely going to be looking forward to see Stanford advancing. According to the women's tournament bracket, I believe Stanford is going to be playing NC State. I actually have them advancing. Um, to play Texas. I mean, that's who everybody wants to see. They want to see. They want to see Kiki. They want to see Cameron. They want to see Texas. They want to see Sydney Carter. Well, I mean, I want to see Sydney Carter, but shout out to Texas Longhorns. Um, Also, South Carolina. I have they actually play Indiana in the sweet. Yeah, they actually play Indiana in the Sweet 16. I actually have Indiana. Excuse me. I actually have South Carolina, Notre Dame, Texas, and Stanford. I have them all advancing for sure. Um, Now on the other side of the bracket, the Albany and the Portland bracket, Portland three bracket. Excuse me. Let me see. We got Iowa. We got LSU. We got Southern California, UConn. Okay, so I have UConn advancing. No, you know what? Let me take that back. For some reason, I have Duke advancing over UConn just because they can scrap. South Carolina and Baylor, the Baylor Lady Bears, and the Lady Trojans. They're gonna match up. I think Southern Cal has a little too much, too much of that juju. Juju's going to get off, and she hasn't really been getting off in most of these games. She's pretty been like more pedestrian like 22, 24. This might be the game where she's going to explode on this one. Um, LSU, UCLA. I don't know. I got UCLA. I got UCLA with the upset. I got UCLA with the upset, playing against Iowa, and then I have Iowa over Colorado. Of course, I have Iowa and UCLA matching up in the Elite Eight. For some reason, I got Iowa getting upset by UCLA, and it's going to be a Pac-12 matchup. It's going to be the last ever Pac-12 matchup ever. UCLA and USC. I have South Carolina advancing in the Elite Eight. Also, I have Stanford advancing in the Elite Eight over Texas. I have them playing South Carolina, so it's going to be a South Carolina, Stanford, UCLA, USC women's Final Four. Winning the championship, not sure. It's probably going to be South Carolina, but I definitely want to see that. But that's my Final Four pick, my Sweet 16 pick, Elite Eight pick, and Final Four pick. South Carolina, Notre Dame, Texas, Stanford, Iowa, UCLA, USC, Duke. So that's my Sweet 16 so far, and I got everybody else advancing. I got South Carolina advancing to the Final Four. I got Stanford going to the Final Four. I got UCLA going to the Final Four. It's going to be a Pac-12 party. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be Stanford, USC, UCLA. It's going to be a Pac-12 party. Forget about everybody else. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. All right, now for the men. The teams are in the Sweet 16. We got UConn, San Diego State, we got Illinois, Iowa State, North Carolina, Alabama, number 6 Clemson, Arizona, Houston, and Duke, North Carolina State, Marquette, Purdue, Gonzaga, Creighton, and Tennessee. Which of these teams do not belong? Let's start with the West region. Okay. We got Clemson and Arizona matching up tonight. I believe they play like around like 7 o'clock, 7:16, 7:15, or something like that. I got Arizona advancing. Then I believe the nightcap would be North Carolina and Alabama, pretty much the primetime game. Alabama and UNC. This is where the trip is over for Alabama. Alabama played great, but like all things, like time marches on. UNC has a better team, bigger front line. UNC advances to play Arizona. Up in the East bracket, we got UConn and San Diego State. San Diego State hasn't been. I'm not gonna say they haven't been relevant, but for some reason, like San Diego State, they always falter in the Sweet 16. This is where UConn, the national champs. This is where they're going to cream rises to the top. So I got UConn advancing off of that. Also in that bracket as well, we got Illinois and Iowa State. Iowa State is definitely has something to prove. They keep telling everybody we should have been the number one seed. We should have got Purdue's number one seed. But it was pretty much just based on record, but like top to bottom. Iowa State has the more balanced team offensively and defensively. So Iowa State gets a nod for me over Illinois. Sorry about the Illinois. Shout out to the Big Ten, but your trip is over too. Iowa State advances to play UConn in the Elite Eight. On the South, in the South bracket, excuse me, we got Houston and Duke, North Carolina State and Marquette. So Houston Duke's going to match up. Shout out to Josh Shire. Shout out, congratulations to get into your first Sweet 16 as a Duke coach. I know that's kind of hard because Mike Krzyzewski is placed that huge shadow on you. That's like some big shoes to fill. But my advice for Coach John Shire: just do you do your own coaching style. You're not Coach K. I mean, shoot, you're not even Jeff Capel. So, um, but I have, for some reason, I mean, I don't bang with either of these schools like that. I'm just being honest with you. I don't bang with Kelvin Sampson just because, like, he just like as a coach, he just leaves every school that he leaves. It just leaves in shambles and some type of scandal or sanction or something like that. Just check all the schools he's been at. Like New Mexico. What's the other school he went? Manhattan, Oklahoma. Indiana. I mean, come on. So I have Houston because Houston has better athletes, but don't sleep on Duke because Duke has this one power forward. I forgot his name, but he's tough. He's a hell of an athlete. Also in the South bracket, we actually have NC State and Marquette. NC State is a really good team. A lot of people are sleeping on NC State. They're a very dangerous number 2 seed playing against NC State as 11. NC State has a pretty good journey after they beat like Texas Tech, Oakland. To be honest with you, they actually got a break because of the Oakland upset. I believe they were supposed to play if in the natural order of things, if things were supposed to be right, I believe they were supposed to play Kentucky in the second round, and Kentucky and Marquette were supposed to play in the Sweet 16. But unfortunately, due to March Madness and how March Madness is, Oakland gets the nod, and yeah. And after Marquette beating Colorado, and Marquette, listen, man, I was watching them on Saturday, and shout out to Kyle and Sam. We actually went on the double D. We were actually watching that game too as well. At the Liberty place down in 60th Girard. Please, if you have for everybody out there, it's just a shameless self promotion. But you listen, great place to go to down in Liberty. I believe Liberty Miniature Golf. Great place to go. Great food, great atmosphere, great people. You're gonna have a great time there. I believe it's at 16th and Girard, something like that. So just look it up. Anyway, back to basics. NC State and Marquette. okay. NC State with that big front line, they're going to be good, but Marquette's going to make them run. So it's going to be a whole lot of running, trapping, and pressing with Marquette, and I believe they get the nod. I believe they beat them. They beat North Carolina State. They don't beat them by a lot. They probably beat them by like 13 at the end, maybe 17 because it's going to be a free throw shooting contest. So I take care of that bracket. Now in the Midwest bracket, you got Purdue, Gonzaga, Creighton, and Tennessee. So number 1 seed Purdue, I believe Purdue is going to be like the number 1 seed coming out of that one, just because they just have a big guy in the middle. They're just going to just keep punching it down to the big guy. They're going to throw it out. Well, the only way that Purdue is going to lose this game is only if they get Zach Edey in foul trouble and they bring Zach Edey out past the top of the key where he's going to be on the island alone by himself. Easier said than done because, in all defense of Zach Edey is pretty disciplined as a center. So he's not really going to go out there per se, unless he has to. But once you get him out there, you make him contest, make him put that hand up. You can't be in 2 places at once. Go right around him, either kick the ball out or just take the ball to the hole. Gonzaga has the personnel to do that, but Gonzaga has to be on. But I have Purdue. I have Purdue advancing just because they're that rough and tough basketball. I don't think the West Coast Conference is used to that rough and tumble, Big Ten grinded out basketball. They're used to going out and running, and the best way to beat a fast team is to make them slow down, so that way they get too eager and they rush everything. Also, in the last of that bracket, that Midwest bracket, we got Creighton and Tennessee. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be, I think, quiet as kept. They might not even pay attention to this game like that, but this is going to be the sleeper game. This is going to be a real good game. Creighton has small forwards. Tennessee has small forwards. This is going to be the battle of the wings. It's going to be a wing fest out there. they're going to be flying up and down the sidelines, like getting to the basket. Um, the only thing that Tennessee has better than Creighton is shooters. Shooting guards are good. Small forwards can shoot the three as well and slash and get to the bucket as well. Creighton is based more on defense per se, um, but I have Tennessee just coming out there, and they're going to play. They're going to play Purdue in the Elite Eight, so that's pretty much my predictions. Just wanted to just touch base with you guys and everything like that. I know this broadcast went a little long. Usually it's about 12, 13 minutes, but I just had to get that gloating out with the Sixers and stuff like that because I mean, people are all upset about like we won and we won by a bad call. It wasn't a bad call. The referee just let the players decide the game for him. That's all. Nobody's on the take. Nobody's taking money or anything like that. Like, come on, man. We beat y'all fair and square. To all my Clipper fans out here, unite. Um, and yeah, we're just gonna celebrate the win, man. I know you guys are salty. It sounds like a you problem, but yeah. But like I said, great game. I mean, in some outlets, they actually have the Sixers, going to the Eastern Conference Final. I don't know why you guys are like an eighth seed, but whatever. But yeah, so we're gonna take it down now. Definitely want to thank everybody who tuned in. Thank you also to all my Clipper fans out there, keeping it live, supporting, and things of that sort. So yeah, so coming up next, hopefully I can catch you guys on the weekend. I'll definitely give the Elite Eight and Final Four preview for the guys and the girls. And like I said, it's been a great game last night by by the Clippers. I'm glad we can come in, and step on the step on the Sixers couches and stuff like that. But yeah, Wells Fargo, just note to self, please get those rims fixed. There's some type of bad juju, some type of bad aura going around that arena. So please get that fixed. So you know what? This is Casey from Nick. This is Casey from In the Basement Next Step K. I am K, your Clippers fan and Jets fan and your Maryland Terrapins fan. You've been great, and you guys have a blessed weekend and be safe out there. Okay, have a good one.